Hi, Jason with Recon Power Bikes. Today we're going to cover the basic fundamentals of riding the Ranger model bicycle, the three different modes, which is regular bicycle, pedal assist, and straight throttle modes, and we're going to cover the controls and the best way for you to use them. The first thing before we ride the bike, the first thing we want to cover is safety. Make sure you have a proper and certified bike helmet, padded gloves, and some sort of eye protection for when you're riding. And when you first start riding the bike, you're going to notice a lot of differences. So we suggest that you start off riding it just like a regular bicycle. It has 7 or 8 manual gears depending on your model. When you're using the gear shifter, you need to make sure your pedals are moving and the gears are moving when you pedal in between each gear, and fully engage each gear before you shift. Your brake levers on this model is a hydraulic brake. Left side is your front brake. Right side is your rear brake. The only adjustment is there's a screw right here so you can determine how close you'd like it to your grip or not, depending on the size of your hands. So when you start riding this bike, you'll notice that it rides a little bit different than other bikes. There's some weight here for the battery and some weight for the motor, which changes your center of gravity to a standard bicycle. It actually puts it a little lower to the ground, putting that weight lower on the frame of the bike than just your body. So now you've ridden the bike around, you've got the feel for it, and you understand how to ride this bicycle. Once you've done that, you can use the controls up here, which we will cover later on how to implement them. You'll turn the bicycle on with a main power down here, and then the power mode right here. When the bicycle comes on, it's going to come on in pedal assist 1. It'll be indicated right in the center of the screen right there. At this point, you can use it in pedal assist, and you'll see the motor will engage. And then as you stop pedaling, the motor will disengage and just coast. Or at this point, you could use just the throttle. To start with, we're going to cover the pedal assist. We suggest having it in the manual gear of 3rd and the pedal assist of 2. What that's going to do is it's going to give you the basics of the fundamentals of what it feels like when you pedal, and as you saw that motor kick, and what it does to you. When you're pedaling through corners, the first thing you need to learn in the pedal assist, as you pedal, the motor is going to continue to work at all times. If you pedal through the corner, it will push. So do not pedal through the corners. You want to make sure that you're coasting through the corners. You're also going to notice that it helps when you're climbing hills. You're still going to want to shift down on your manual gears as you would normally riding a bicycle. Possibly shift it down to 2nd or even 1st gear on a really steep hill climb. And then as you learn the pedal assist, you will learn to use them in conjunction with each other. So you're going to shift down on your manual gears, 1 gear at a time, and you're going to bump the pedal assist up as the hill gets steeper and climber. This way you're going to be able to maintain the same cadence and the same amount of work and let the motor do some of the work. Once you level off at the top, you're then going to go ahead, take your pedal assist back down, shift your manual gears back up to a higher gear, and ride the bicycle on a flat surface. The 3rd mode that we would go into would be the straight throttle mode. When you're in straight throttle mode, you're riding this basically like a scooter. You just have to hit the throttle like that and make the tire go. Your speeds will vary several different ways. If you're in 1st manual gear on your gear shifter, it will not be as fast as 7th. Just the same as if you were pedaling it, you can pedal faster in 7th gear and work harder than you can go in 1st gear working easy. With that being said, realize that this will drain your motor more. If you are straight throttle 7th gear as fast as you can go, you're making the motor work as hard as it possibly can. If you're in 1st gear in the straight mode with the throttle, you're going to go about 10 to 12 miles an hour, and it's going to be easy for you to ride and be in a comfortable pace, but not wear the motor down. When you go back over to the pedal assist side, regardless of which manual gear you're in, each pedal assist will give you a little bit more speed as well. So if I start down in 1 and 1, it's about 10 to 11 miles an hour. If I bump my pedal assist all the way up to its highest level of 5, and then take my gear shifter all the way up to speed 7, shifting 1 gear at a time again, it's still a bicycle. That is where you can get your top speed of 30 miles an hour. As you can see, there are several different ways you can do with this. You can use this bicycle as a bicycle for exercise. You can use the pedal assist mode if you want to use it as a mode of transportation to get to and from work with a slight bit of exercise, but maybe you don't want to get a lot of perspiration or work really hard before work. You could take it to work and then come home from work and get your exercise. Or you could just use the throttle and use it to get you from point A to point B in a quick, easy fashion. Now standing behind the bike at the driver's perspective, we'll reach down on the left side, turn the main power on. Once that's on, you'll use the button on the far right side to turn the power on. Once the power comes on, it'll always come up into pedal assist 1. Some of the features to think about at this point is the pedal assist and the throttle are two independent, mutually exclusive items. When you're pedaling, the pedal assist will engage. You do not need to use the throttle at all. When you use the throttle, you can use that independently without pedaling. So they are two separate components. It's important to remember that. Another thing to remember is anytime you hit the brake, like right now when I hit the throttle, nothing happens. Nothing would happen in the pedal assist mode. It would be the same on the right side as the left side. And when you use the shifter, there will be a brief moment where the motor will disengage in pedal assist or in throttle mode while the gear shifts from one to the next gear. Now, going back to our pedal assist modes, we start off in 1. The left side you have a plus and minus. When you hit up, they'll move up to 2, 3, and you can continue to go all the way up to your 5th level of pedal assist. If you bring it all the way down with the minus button, you can see that brings it to 0. These two buttons also have two other functions. If you watch, if I hold the minus button down, you'll see the display right there. The bike goes into a really slow walk mode where you could walk with the bike and not have to hold the bike's weight up or push it. All you have to do is walk along with it. The other option is if you hold the plus button down too long, it'll go into what's called sport mode, which is a little bit more aggressive on hill climbs and quicker starts, but going to eat a lot of your battery life again. So we're going to keep it down here on the walk mode and go into pedal assist 2, speed 2 to start learning how to ride the bicycle. As we're riding the bicycle, you're going to be in 2, 2. You start climbing a hill, you might want to reach over and bump it into 3. Maybe shift it down to first gear as the hill gets steeper, and then 4 and 5 for your greatest inclines. As you level out, you'll just bump it back down one at a time, get it back into second gear, and then bring your manual gear back up to the gear you were riding in previously. Now with the pedal assist, there's also functions where if we bring it down to 1, we can control the speed of the throttle. Now the throttle will work just like an accelerator on a vehicle. If I press it just a little bit, the bike will just barely move. There's nothing on the speedometer, and the farther down I press it, pretty soon I'll start reading the speed, and then I can hit it all the way down. So you can manipulate the speed of the bike just with your thumb pressure. It's not an on or off throttle. It is manipulative throttle that you can give it partial, half, or full throttle. The other thing that happens is if I'm in pedal assist 1 and bring it all the way down, it will give me a max speed. But as I bump the pedal assists up, each pedal assist, you can hear the motor kick in, it will give it a little more speed. So the manipulation of this is down in 1, first gear, nice and easy, 10-mile-an-hour cruise in pedal assist or in throttle mode. Each pedal assist will give you more speed as a throttle or as pedaling. Now, other things on the safety side, if you're in pedal assist 5 and second gear, you will not be able to keep up with the pedaling. The pedal is going to be like driving downhill as fast as you can and trying to pedal with the bike. It's more of a coast mode. So it's very important to make sure to use the pedal assist properly with the proper gear and the speed you're going in. You definitely do not want to be all the way up in pedal assist 5 going downhill. Going downhill, you wouldn't even need pedal assist. You can learn to manipulate it quickly with just your thumb, take it to 0, coast down the hill. When you hit the bottom of the hill, bring it back up for a little bit of assist and cruise on your flat surfaces. The other things you need to remember, shifting gears all the time. As a bicycle, in pedal assist or straight throttle, the crank has to be moving. So pedal and shift 1 gear at a time, and don't try to upshift your manual gear into a higher gear when going uphill. That's where you're going to cause damage to your cassette or your chain. You always downshift on the hill climb, upshift on your way back up. Now that we're done with the safety features and the modes of pedal assist and throttle, we're going to double click the information button, and that brings up what's called display settings. We'll use the information button there again, and that will bring us in our different settings. As you start at the top, you have your unit. Now you'll use your plus and minus buttons. You can go down to the brightness of the screen. If I go over on the side, you'll be able to see that made it just a little bit dimmer. And then I use the information button to get back over to the menu of what I want to do. The auto off, that's your delay on how long the battery stays on while it's off. So right now it's off, so the bike will continually to stay on. I can take that up to 10 minutes, which does at the 10-minute mark, the bike will just automatically shut off if you've walked away from it. The modes we covered with the plus button for eco and sport mode. The power view is difference between voltage and percentage. The percentage of your SOC is how well it engages and how quick. Your trip reset is for your odometer. The size of tires you have on there. You have 26-inch tires on your bicycle. And then the speed limit. This is another thing that's important when you first start off with. You may want to keep this down at 15 miles an hour until you get used to the pedal assist or the throttle mode. Sensitivity is for the sensitivity of the screen. You can put a 4-digit password to protect this so nobody can turn the bike on without that. Set your clock and back. It's very important anytime you make any changes that you back out of the display and then exit the display. If you don't properly exit, it will not save the changes that you made inside of it. As you can see, the Ranger is a 1,000-watt bicycle, and it says 750 watts right now. The reason for that is we've bumped the speed limit down to 20 miles an hour. So if I go in one more time, I go to my display settings, and I'm going to change the speed limit, plus and minus button to get me down there. The information button will bring it over. Now I can bring this up to 31 miles an hour. I'm going to use the information button to move over. I'm going to go down and back out of the screen, and then I'm going to exit. And now it shows you the 1,000-watt with a full 1,500-watt range. So these things will help with some of your troubleshooting too. If you don't think you're getting enough power, maybe you've got the speed limit set too low, you're not getting the full wattage out of your bicycle, you can reset your odometer. The other things down here on the display with the information button by hitting it once, right now we have our odometer at 70 miles. We have our max speed was 48 miles an hour. Our average speed was 1 mile an hour when we were on the test track. The range is 32 miles right now, and that 32 miles will depend on how you're riding the bike. That's in pedal assist 1, straight throttle. If I change the pedal assist model, it will show you that the range lowers. So just by the computer itself knows that if you're going to ride it hard, you won't get the range out of it. Now if I was pedaling the bicycle, this number would constantly change. It works just like the gas mileage in your vehicle. If I bring it back down, it's going to give me a larger range again. And the last thing it'll show is calories burnt, how long the bicycle has been on since the last time you powered it on. So we've had the bike on for 8 minutes now. And then the trip odometer is the one that you can reset each time. So if you want to track individual bike rides, you can do that. That covers all the displays and functions you can do here and the things you can change inside the display.